Good evening and welcome. On behalf of my parents, Rabbi and Mrs. New, Rabbi Itchy and Zeldi Treidel, and the rest of the MTC staff, we welcome you all here tonight. And it's my great pleasure to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, Evan Feldman.
Good evening, bonsoir, erev tov, everybody. Good Yom Tov. It's very interesting. The rabbi asked me to be the master of ceremonies. I asked, what do I have to do? He said, you don't have to do anything. Just welcome people and introduce the speakers. I said, I shouldn't say anything? He said, don't say anything. I said, okay. Je m'excuse, je vais parler en français un peu aussi pour les amis. And then Levi came to tell me, are you ready? I'm going to introduce you now. I said, I don't understand. You're introducing me to say nothing. So I can't help but say something, and I want to be careful not to say anything that the speakers are going to say. So I said Good Yom Tov only because you know you're here, so you know that this is recognized as the Yom Tov for Chabad. And the reason I think it's relevant to me is Rabbi New asked me to be the master of ceremonies, and this week is a very complicated week for me. It's busy. It's the last fiscal week for me for 2019, and I told the rabbi I can't do it. And then I said my wife is away and my kids are home alone and I can't do it. And then he asked again and again and again, and I really actually didn't want to do it. And then I'm thinking to myself, this is the Rosh Hashanah of Chabad, and if I think where I feel at home and who my family are, most of my friends and my family today are either in this room or connected to this room. How can I actually not be here on Rosh Hashanah or Yom Tov? On Yom Tov, I wouldn't tell the rabbi that I was busy and I was going to be home or I was going to be at work. So for that reason, I'm here. I'm not going to say much more. You'll get to hear about what the night is about, and I will come up a couple of times to introduce our speakers, but we're fortunate today. I got to do this last year, so I understand. This year it's bigger and there's more people, so Marc, yasher koach to you, but we'll get a context of the evening and what tonight is about by Marc Elman, and we look forward to hearing your words. Thank you.
I don't have to raise it that much. Thank you, Evan. The 19th day of the Hebrew month of Kislev is celebrated as the Rosh Hashanah of Chassidism. It was on this day in the year 1798, 221 years ago, that the founder of Chabad Chassidism, Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Eliade, also commonly known as the Alter Rebbe, was freed from his imprisonment in Tsarist Russia. This event heralded a new era in the revelation of the inner soul of Torah. Is it loud enough? Yeah. The Alter Rebbe is not the founder of Hasidism. That distinction would go to the much revered Baal Shem Tov. However, Rabbi Zalman went much further than his predecessor in bringing these soulful teachings to broad segments of the Jewish population of Eastern Europe. Quite clearly, he was the founder of the Chabad approach, a philosophy and system of study, meditation, and character refinement that made many of the Kabbalistic concepts comprehensible and practically applicable in daily life. His seminal work, and he had many volumes of writings, was the Tanya, which can best be described as a guide with which one can actualize one's full spiritual potential. When Rabbi New asked me to say a few words, my immediate reaction was, what do I know about the Alter Rebbe? I assume that many of you are like me in that my knowledge of the Rebbes was limited to the study of the seventh Rebbe, the great Menachem Mendel Schneerson. Rabbi New handed me a short book and said, all you'll need to know is right here. Evan, I'm sure he gave you the same book. That little green book, exactly. After reading the book, it became apparent to me just how much similarity existed between the two Rebbes, and just how much they had contributed to both world Jewry and the world at large, and how much they have pioneered Chabad. For instance, they both practice the basic concept of inclusion. Every Jew to them is to be encouraged and honored, and every small mitzvah is appreciated. Both men welcome challenges to their teachings and were happy to have healthy debates on their philosophies. They also both had boundless energy and commitment to their cause and had such skill, very quickly created enormous following. Both went far beyond their local communities. The Alter Rebbe in the entire amount of Eastern Europe, and Rebbe Schneerson throughout the entire planet. There are currently Chabad services in well over 125 countries. I think that deserves a little applause. The Alter Rebbe demonstrated enormous courage. He had been framed as a traitor to the Tsar by fellow Jews who opposed the teachings and practices of Hasidism and sought to have the movement aborted. It was strength and commitment that facilitated the birth of and triumph of Hasidism. Most importantly, the first and seventh Rebbes, and I am sure all of those in between, were able to demonstrate the very simple concept of love your fellow man as you love yourself. The sages say, if you want to synthesize the Torah into one sentence, that would be it. So simple to say, and yet so hard to do. If one wants to achieve anything in life, it's best that one is clear of his or her goal. I cannot think of any goal for a life of success that is better than the love of your fellow man and woman, and Chabad encourages one to align in this direction in all of their teachings. On a personal note, I am very grateful to have met and studied with Rabbi New for the past 3.5 years. Each and every teaching embodies the basic concept and truth, that is, Hashem wants to have a relationship with you. What is required to do that is faith. In order to strengthen and develop my faith, I have studied sub-theistic philosophy. From Aristotle to Maimonides to more contemporary philosophers, there is strong evidence in there of Hashem's existence. Chabad has continually nurtured that faith in me, and that is a gift that is priceless. The renowned psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl said, doesn't say it anymore, that the 3 keys to a successful life are doing meaningful work, having meaningful relationships, and having the ability to deal with life's inevitable hardships. Developing a relationship with Hashem greatly helps in all of these areas. The 19th of Kislev marks the birth of Hasidism, the point where it was allowed to emerge from the womb of mysticism into the light of day, to grow and develop as an integral part of Torah and Jewish life. Thank you.